What's going on, guys? BouseFeenux here, and as some of you know, I was recently asked to visit San Francisco to check out Far Cry 5. We had about 2 hours to play the game and record it, and honestly, I didn't feel like that was nearly enough time. Now, I can't show it to you in this video because of embargo reasons, but believe me when I say that this game is massive, even compared to the other titles. Now, before we go any further, I wanted to let you guys know explicitly that this video is not sponsored. Ubisoft did fly me to San Francisco, but I wasn't told to make a video in return, and I received no compensation, monetary or otherwise, to do so. The team working on this game is just super passionate about it, and they invited a bunch of press and other content creators out in the hopes that we'd share our experiences with the game, which is why this video exists. Plus, I had a lot of fun, and I want to tell you guys about this game. It's really cool. So anyway, on to the video. For those of you that have been living under a rock, Far Cry 5 is the latest entry in the franchise and takes place in Hope County, Montana. This is the first time that a Far Cry game has taken place in the United States, as the setting is typically somewhere a little more exotic. In Far Cry 3, we had a beautiful tropical island. Far Cry 4 took place in the Himalayan mountains. You get the point. Now, being an American, I wasn't super excited about this setting at first. I didn't think it would have much to offer, but after playing, I feel like they did a pretty good job of capturing the look of the towns and wilderness of what it would be like living somewhere in the middle of Montana. Some of the American-themed stuff is a little over the top and a little bit stereotypical, but a little exaggeration is to be expected in a game where you can take out a helicopter with a bow and arrow. That being said, if you're new to the Far Cry series, this will be as good a place to start as any because each game is its own separate story. There are a few characters that show up from time to time between games, but in all, each Far Cry game is pretty much its own thing. Now, if you're a returning player, like me, to the series, you'll be pleased to know that they've made some changes. Gone are the radio towers you need to climb to reveal information about an area. Instead, now you'll gain all of your map intel by talking to the locals around town. To find hunting spots for animals, you'll need to pay attention to the Animal Crossing street signs and so on. I mean, it's kind of cool. It's very organic. The game is littered with little interactable points that will give you info on the game world. So in short, what they've done here is heavily encourage exploration and NPC interaction. And in previous titles, the NPCs standing around were pretty much just white noise. You really didn't need to interact with them for much of anything. But now, they are crucial for getting the lay of the land. On the other hand, some things never change though. Aside from what I mentioned, this looks and feels a lot like the previous Far Cry games. You will find a lot new here that's different from the past titles. It's pretty much the same tried and tested Far Cry formula. There's a bad guy, he's got lots of crazy goons, you've got a lot of guns, and so on. Now, if you're a longtime series fan, I wouldn't say this is necessarily a bad thing. It's the Far Cry that we know and love. It's got tons of stuff to do, a seriously gorgeous environment, a pretty good story, lots of vehicles and guns to play around with, and a progression system that does a pretty good job at making you feel like your character is growing. So what I'm trying to say is there hasn't really been any kind of huge overhaul to the general Far Cry experience. If you've played the previous games, you know what you're getting yourself into, and if you're like me, then that's okay. Gameplay-wise, everything feels great. They let us test the game on a PS4 Pro in 4K, and it ran super well. I suck at shooter games on my best days with a mouse and keyboard, doubly so with a controller, but after just a few minutes, even I was good to go. And this is even a very early build of the game, seeing as Far Cry 5 has been delayed until later 2018, so optimization and gameplay mechanics could improve even from here. I mean, they can only go up from this point. But all things considered, Far Cry 5 is shaping up to be a pretty solid experience. The characters are colorful and a lot more interesting this time around. The guns are fun to use as always, the environments look great as always, and the setting is way more interesting than I thought it would be, which is a huge plus for me. That was one of my major hangups on this game. But other than that, there really isn't much more to say at this point. I do want to mention, though, that I'm not able to show the shop menu, weapon customization menu, or the character progression in this video because of NDA, but I think that they're going to be holding another capture event sometime here soon, so if you guys are interested in me continuing to make the odd Far Cry 5 video every now and again, let me know in the comments, and I'll keep flying out to California to play this every other month or so. But if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like down below, and if you're new here, get subscribed so that you never miss a new video. Until next time though, I'm BouseFeenux, I'll see you at the next one, and as always, thank you so much for watching.